Good afternoon, folks. 12:01 p.m., April 19th, 2018. If there's any charts you want me to comment on, just put them in the comment box there in the chat room, and I'll get to them for you. I have a meeting this afternoon that needs to start as soon as possible. Basically, they're just sitting there waiting for me, which is fine. They can talk and discuss and enjoy their time. So I'm going to run through my charts, and then any that are posted, I'll run through them, but I'm going to do it pretty quick. I'll probably be done here in about 20 minutes, have the session done. So the first chart I want to look at is the S&P. I was posting that was divergent to the bull side. Trade hit target early. What we did was we entered in the major washout, the last one. And I was posting, telling everybody to relax and not panic. Anyway, we had modeled this in advance, and slowly but surely it kept falling out of the model. But slowly but surely it started to restructure, and it hit this target, and then it kept going up, got over the 200, and then we were expecting 278 on April 18th at around 2 p.m. and it spiked just before then, late the afternoon before. I was posting that this was the end of that run, that there'd be a rest, and so that was last night. Yesterday I was posting it, and now it's coming back into the target where it should have been. So it's going to start the process all over. I would expect a retracement, but not necessarily that it's going to, but I would expect one. So it'll be down in this, what we call a quad, trading quadrant. And so of course I'll be modeling that for members over the weekend so that you can trade it. But in short, your support, well, it just hit support. It hit the DMA on the 60. Your support is just over 268. It's trading 268.31 right now. It hit 268.10. So it basically hit intraday support. Your next support down, it's fairly deep. 26571 is the next notable one. 26571 and 2655. Now you are going to have there's going to be a quad trend line here. So if you just hand draw it, it'd be in the 26725. So 268, 26725, 26570, and 26552, and then 26395. Now that one, that's not your mid quad yet. So your main support under there is 26268. So that's 26268. So your full retracement, if it happens, 26268. If you just hand drew that quad, it's going to be, the timing on that's going to be around April 26th, end of day. That's my guess. So April 26th, end of day, if you get a full retracement, 262.72 on April 26th. If you don't get a full extension down, then look to your upside here, resistance again, and then you're going to be in this trading quad next. And I'll get that out to the members. Upside resistance, just in case you do get a pop. I don't think you're going to. I think we're going to rest for some time now, at least days. 2724 is resistance, 2748 is resistance, and 272, and then a big one at 27324. Yeah, that's a big one, 27324. That was the one I was talking about yesterday on my feed, telling people it just wouldn't get over that, and then sure enough, boom. Because it was getting into a double extension, and a double extension on the S&P 500 on this model happens like rare. Okay, so that's the S&P. Then we have Netflix. So this trade's going exactly as planned in this model. It's sitting on support right now, right around 327.85. Your next support down is 316.37. Your next down is 313.86. And your full retracement is 296.64. And if the S&P hits its full retracement extension on that retracement, you could hit that on Netflix quite easily. Upside resistance from where it's trading right now is 337.90 and 347. Call it 348. And then there's a few more, and then a serious one up here. Here's your full extension. 37933. I don't think you're going to see it right away. Which you'll probably see in the S&P and Netflix is you'll probably see a half a retracement. So somewhere in this neighborhood of 27026 on Netflix, and then it'll probably get up to its next extension up here in that 37862. The S&P then would be on its correlated extensions. Let's take a look at that. So its full extension now would be 26270 or so. It's 50% would be in this neighborhood, 265.04. So if I had to guess, next week it's 265, and then you get a bounce. Under 265, it could get pretty serious, actually. The 200 MA corresponds with that, so that's very likely. So if it does get the bounce at 265, like I think it will, your full extension back up is going to be 273.23. And so on Netflix, the same scenario is what I would expect. We'll see if it happens. DXR, turd, not even gonna look at it. ESPR, some good news. This is a trade that we've been executing alerts on that has worked out quite well. It's at the support right now, so I'd be cautious there too. And I've gone through the upside and downside on this, but this, this is correlated too. So here's your extension at 90.40, and its downside extension at 50.21, and you're probably going to see 50% retracement, 61.71 or so next week. Trade price though, nothing's guaranteed. It's just a matter of having the decisions in front of you. Oil, it's heading for the Friday target on Epic's model almost perfectly right now. It's in a support resistance decision area, so there's a major pivot right here, and that's why you see on this chart, on the 1 minute chart, it's just coiling around the pivot. So we're waiting for a decision whether it's going up into the next trading range on the algorithm or the one that we just experienced. Yeah, so the S&P is right down at support. It's probably gonna, what it tends to do is it overshoots, and then it'll probably extend, and then it'll probably bounce that 200. This particular bounce, I don't know if it's gonna, if I had to bet, I would bet against it, and then it's gonna bounce, and then it's gonna come back down to its full retracement at 26270 or so. That's my guess on that one, but just a guess. This most decided to crop out today. Kind of works, it kind of doesn't work. So I'm just going to bring up a few others that alarmed here today. Curious about. So on these models that we function in, we have alarms on them. And so people trading in the room can see them too. So we didn't get many alarms today. I looked at all those. It was yesterday we had just a slew of them. But things have changed today, so I'm not even going to worry about going through those. I'm going to look at the movers today. AGHM, OPGM. Just want to see if there's any names in here that I really want to. So there's a lot of day trading vehicles in here. American Express, one of the ones that we cover in our regular swing trading platform newsletter service. I just want to see this one here. This is the weekly chart. Just taking a quick boo. 2050. 200's way below. Hit the top of its Bollinger Band there. Came off. Just wanted to get a quick feel of the structure. Say it's too late to enter now. This is one we've been in and out of. FEYE. Definitely one I want to take a look at here. So I was chatting with one of our traders today on Twitter, and I had comments to this, but the bottom line is that it's right up against. He was thinking about going long, and I alerted him to the fact that there was a quad wall there, so that's why it's stuck, and there's 2 fib resistance points right over top. This has been a successful trade for us, but I'm expecting probably a retracement down here to 1770 or at least halfway 1830 area. And then we're targeting 2229 on June 27th if it gets to the bull side. If it doesn't, then same day 1628. So AMD is one that I'm not real confident in the bull side. I want to see how it's trading today. Still holding that mid quad line. 983 is its major pivot. It's got earnings in 6 days. I was a tad short bias, but I should have taken the short yesterday. It's trading 1060s. Huh. I think I'm right on that. But I like to trade price. I don't like to assume. Apple. So here's an example of a problem for the S&P. Its main pivot is at 17655. The S&P is still above its main pivot at 268, right? Well, it's sitting on it basically. So Apple can lead the S&P and others by the nose. It's underneath its pivot. Now it's 50% retracement. Is going to sit in here somewhere. It's getting close. Interesting stuff. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised next week if you see 16475 on Apple. Just above there, the support is 167. 16748. I think you're going to see 16461. 17 well, basically call it 171 is your support right now, your range. Upside resistance 17655, and then 18186. But I think you're going to see at least this next week. So that's my bias. My bias is to a soft start to next week on at least a bit of a retracement, if not more. It's got huge support down here at 15252, but I don't think we're going to get much more simple retracement next week. So I think that clears the ones specifically. Bitcoin, take a quick look. Okay, so Bitcoin you may or may not know we've nailed all the moves in advance, modeled this, trades very predictably. It's struggling with its 50-day on the daily, so it's 50 MA. And it struggled with it for a while. If it gets up and over it, then this quad wall, this blue dotted line, is your resistance. Then your 100 MA, then the main pivot on the chart at 9.8. What would that be? About 9.850 is your main pivot on this chart. Yeah. Yep. So, I'd like to see it get bullish. If it does get bullish, I'll be targeting 13.721 on June 21st. That's the most bullish scenario. Up over main pivot is that next line at 11.488. All these yellows mark the resistance on the way up, so you can trim into the resistance and then add over top of the resistance once it's recovered it. And one last one I want to look at as far as the ones that we have plays in is Google, or have been in the last couple of weeks or whatever. We've got a lot of these models dialed right in, and our win rate is going way up on these plays the last couple of weeks. We've had 100% win rate, so they're so dialed in that it's important to stay on them, even if we've trimmed right out of them. So Google's doing the same thing it was doing the last 3 days. It's struggling with that 100 MA. Its main pivot area on its chart, so it's doing what Apple's doing, because its main pivot area is at 1102.71, or no, it's the opposite of what Apple's doing. Oh no, that's the same thing. Yeah, because Apple's under its main pivot too. Its upside resistance main pivot is called 1100, 1103, 63-ish. These are all approximate. Next resistance above is 1128.53. Your real support is this quad wall right here. There's a support here at 1046.15, and another support here at 1041.3. Your 200 MA on the daily is under there, and it's going to come in right around this support and the quad wall support, and my guess is they all converge, and that's where you're going to get your bounce into the target. Not much higher than it is right now at 1103.35. Earnings in 4 days too, by the way. There was one on this list I wanted to see here quick. I'm trying to remember where one that was. So these are the movers on the day. Be nice to get a continuation in that oil run next week, but I think it might rest too. Oh, here it is. This is the chart I was looking at earlier today. This is a really bullish setup. We'll see what happens next week on it. SYN or ZYNE is right against its 200 on the daily. Yeah, I took a boo at all these charts earlier, and these are just not great charts. This one isn't bad, DEST, but never traded it before. So anyway, I apologize, not the best midday. I got to get into a meeting anyway, and there's no charts in the room, so that's cool. So you guys have a great afternoon. I'll be around after my meeting, and take care. We'll see you tomorrow morning.